Hey folks, it's time for Isaac's Saturday Race 6. Now today I'll look at races taking place at Caulfield and at Royal Randwick. Let's start off with Caulfield and let's start off with race 4, which is the Ned's Caulfield Guineas Prelude. It's a 1400 metre. I've got number 1 Alpine Edge, barrier 1, Craig Williams on board. It is the favourite at $4.20. I think Alpine Edge can go well. I'm looking at that barrier mainly. I know Craig has got time to do what he wants with Alpine Edge to get him in a good position coming up to the straight. But with barrier 1, we've seen Craig Williams in the past. He can ride a really good race along the barrier. We saw it in the 2019 Melbourne Cup with Val de Clan. We've seen it in a few other races. So whichever avenue Craig takes, I think Alpine Edge can run a strong race. But I think number 6, Military Expert, who's in barrier 4, John McNeil on board. I think Military Expert can cause an upset to the favourite. Currently backed at $8. That's really good odds there. Came second in the Ming Dynasty Quality. That was at Kembla Grange. And that was a 1400 metre. So it's used to the distance, that 1400 metres. And I think Military Expert can finish off nicely and get a win. Race 5 is the Pinchipoo Plate. It's a 1000 metre. I've got number 1, General Bow, Damien Lane in the saddle. It's the favourite at $3.30. Now, I have to say, he disappointed me in his last race in the McNeil Stakes. He finished 5th. Before that, in the Ned Vane Stakes, he came 3rd. So, General Bow, his form's dropped off a little. You feel like, because he was getting those wins. Now it's slowly just, declining. But hopefully General Bow can get the win today. But I think number 3, Rainvier, who's in barrier 8, Luke Curry in the saddle, currently back to $4.20. I think Rainvier can get the win, upset the favourite. Rainvier might be the favourite by the time of the race, because currently at $4.20, and punt is showing a lot of love this morning for Rainvier. Its last start was a win, but it was all the way back in June. So General Bow has had that, recent form, whereas Rainvier's had a bit of a break. So hopefully Rainvier can, maybe get a win on its return, I guess. Race 6 is the Foresight for Living Legends Handicap. It's a 1400 metre. I've only got the one selection, and it is the favourite, currently backed at $2.15. Number 3, Anavisto. It's drawn barrier 5, John Allen in the saddle. She's been great. It's as simple as that. She has been great this year. And, she's used to this 1400 metre distance. She can run it, and she can run it well. She finishes off strongly, and that's why I've got Anavisto in the Foresight for Living Legends. I think she can get the win nicely, and, that'll be a nice win for John Allen as well. Race 7 is the Catanach's Jewelers MRC Foundation Cup. It's a 2000 metre. Now, I've got 2 horses in this. My first selection is number 2, Angel of Truth. Barrier 8, John McNeil on board, currently backed at $7.50. Now, came second in the Lawrence Stakes and 3rd in the Randwick Stakes this year. Angel of Truth needs that win. It needs that spark in its form, and I think it's going to come in this Foundation Cup. I'm really hoping it does, because we've seen this year Angel of Truth, her hard work rate, day in, day out, and she deserves the win, I feel like. Another horse who is going really well, and, wouldn't surprise me if it wins, is number 12, Grand Promenade. Barrier 14, Harry Coffey in the saddle. This year, it's either finished 1st or 2nd. It's been fantastic on track, and, it's been consistent. That's what we love to see, and it's used to this 2000 metre around that mark. So, Grand Promenade will run a solid race. Maybe looking at a Quinella there, Angel of Truth and Grand Promenade. Race 8 is the Ned Sir Rupert Clarke Stakes. It's a 1400 metre, one of the major races of the day. I've got number 2, Probabile, barrier 2, Brett Preble on board. It is the favourite at $4.80. Now, Probabile won the Cochrane Stakes, but that was with Damien Lane. Brett Preble on Probabile today. And obviously Brett rode Behemoth in the Memsey Stakes, who's also in this race. There is a few jockey changes to horses, but hopefully these horses just keep going That's why I've chosen Brett. I think he's been up to fantastic form, and I think he can get the win on Probable. But the horse that many people aren't talking about is number 17 on Thunderstruck. Drawn barrier 16, John McNeil in the saddle, and he's currently backed at $6.50. Last 2 starts have been wins, so watch out for on Thunderstruck in the Sir Rupert Clarke Stakes. It may cause an upset, and hopefully goes well with John McNeil on board. Race 9, the last at Caulfield, is the Ned's Houndell Stakes. It's a 1200 metre. I've got number 3, Bella Nipotina. Barrier 7, Craig Williams on board. It is a favourite at $4.40. But my top pick for this race, and probably one of my picks of the day and bets of the day, is number 6, Chassis. Barrier 8, Michael D in the saddle. It's currently backed at $13. Really good odds there. It had a solid run in the Cochrane Stakes. Finished second to Probable. Chassis put up a huge fight, and I'm sure Chassis can get the win, or at least a placing in race 9. Chassis been fantastic, and it deserves the win because it's hard, consistent work rate throughout races in the past couple months or so has been brilliant. So number 6, Chassis in race 9 at Caulfield, pick of the day for Isaac's recaps. Isaac's Saturday race tips, that is. Let's move off to Royal Randwick. Getting into Royal Randwick now, let's start off with race 2, the Peach Cell Lodge Shootout Mile. It's a 1600 metre. I've got number 4, Big Boy Roy. Barrier 1, James McDonald on board. It's the favourite at $3.50. Its last win was in 2020. This year it's had a couple placings, but you feel like it needs a solid win, and it runs well on a soft 5. Today is a soft 5, so the track suited up for him, and hopefully Big Boy Roy can get a nice win. Race 5 is the Bill Ritchie Handicap. It's a 1400 metre. I've got number 3, Arameo. Barrier 11, Jason Collette in the saddle. Currently backed at $9.50. It came second to Zaki in the Tramway Stakes, which was a 1400 metre. It had a late charge, a good run, and it finished off strongly. Hopefully Arameo can get the win today. No Zaki in the Bill Ritchie. So, Arameo has got a really good chance. Race 6 is the T Rose Stakes. It's a 1400 metre. Now, I've gone with Shizzle Class, number 3, the favourite, currently back to $3.60. She's drawn barrier 8, James McDonald in the saddle. It didn't have a good run in the Furious Stakes. It disappointed me. I was expecting a stronger finish, maybe at least a placing. Shizzle Class, hopefully she can bounce back in the T Rose. But I think number 7, Naj Maddie, barrier 4, Hugh Bowman on board, currently back to $12. I think maybe it can surprise everyone and get a win, or at least a placing, hopefully. Race 7 is the George Main Stakes. It's a 1600 metre. I've got number 2, Think It Over. Barrier 6, Nashua Willer on board, currently back to $4.80. A strong win in the Chelmsford Stakes. Now, Think It Over's been brilliant, and, it's going to go well in the George Main, but it's going to be hard to beat number 7, Very Elegant, who is the favourite at $2. It is in barrier 2 and James McDonald on board. It won the Chipping Norton Stakes, which was a 1600 metre on a soft 6. Today a soft 5, but I think Very Elegant will still go well. Same track, same jockey, and hopefully same result. So Very Elegant, used to Royal Randwick, used to getting the big time wins, and that's going to be a great battle. Think It Over and Very Elegant coming up to the straight. Potentially a Quinella, it is very likely. Race 8 is the Shorts, or as others know it as, the Mini Everest. It's a 1,100 metre. Now, I've got number 1, Nature Strip, the favourite, currently back to $2.30. Drawn barrier 4, James McDonald on board, Nature Strip, J-Mac. Such a dynamic duo, and Nature Strip's such a strong horse. Don't underestimate number 3, Geetra, barrier 1, Jason Collette on board, currently backed at $9. The boy from South Australia, hopefully he can put on a show for us today, but its last win was in 2020 in the Yes Stakes. So Geetra hopefully can go well, but Nature Strip, very strong, has been brilliant throughout the past year or so, and Nature Strip on top for me. Race 9 is the Kingston Town Stakes. It's a 2,000 metre. I've got number 3, Montefilia. Barrier 12, it's the favourite at $4.60. Hugh Bowman on board. She had a nice run in the Chelmsford, finishing third. I thought Montefilia finished strong, and, Montefilia can get the win today in the Kingston Town Stakes. Don't rule out number 5, Shared Ambition. Barrier 16, National Willer on board. Maybe a placing. It's been going well this year. It came third in the AD Hollandale Stakes. So you never know, maybe Shared Ambition for the upset and to finish off on top. But for me, Montefilia for the win. Folks, it's going to be another glorious day on the track in the spring. If you are taking a punt, good luck, and as always, gamble responsibly.